أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. As usual, since these are the final days of the month of Ramadan and some of us have just completed the prayer, so let us read this dua taught by Imam Sadiq al-Islam, which he used to do it after every wajib and also mustahab prayers, nafila prayers in the month of Ramadan in the last 10 days. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa Muhammad. Allahumma addi anna haqqa ma mada min shahr Ramadan. واغفر لنا تقصيرنا فيه وتسلمه منا مقبولا ولا تؤاخذنا بإسرافنا على أنفسنا واجعلنا من المرحومين ولا تجعلنا من المحرومين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Thank you very much for those who took trouble in responding to our question. We will come to it. We started yesterday this hadith. It's a beautiful hadith. Actually, it's so powerful that the first time when I read this hadith, I thought that inshallah one day I'll give a course on that. I've not done that as yet, just a course on this. We have given a number of courses on Quran. Alhamdulillah, at least we got the chance to discuss this hadith in this course now. So as you can see, what is underlined these are emphases of reciting Quran. Imam has not kept any kind of it is like without any kind of reservation or without any exception, everybody has been asked to recite the Quran, look at the contract every day, even if it means 50 verses. And this is for every Muslim. So then we pose a question for the participants to tell us that despite so much emphasis in this hadith of reciting Quran, why is it not wajib to recite the Quran daily, weekly, monthly, annually, or even any time in that? I realize that many of you are busy, have no time to perhaps respond to this thing. So 2 of you took the trouble in answering, although we wanted only 1 or 2 lines, but each one of them you can see have come out 4 and 5 lines. But I've decided to keep the entire passage there, the answer, simply because we did not receive many answers now. So here it is now. Allah is so merciful to us. He knows that we will resent having more wajib things, will resent having more wajib things to do, and so has kept wajibat at bare minimum. And He has kept things like reciting the Holy Book as a means for us to get extra rewards. He also wants us to come to His beauty in our own time so that we appreciate it more. A very good, thoughtful answer. It's good that how people are thinking. So, of course, there is no doubt this is whatever you find, what is wajib and what is mustahab, this is within the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah is merciful. Certain things He has kept as wajib and certain things are not. Let me tell you one fundamental principle which many people have difficult to comprehend. And that is that if a thing is wajib, does not necessarily mean that that is the most important thing. And if a thing is mustahab, does not mean that it is not important. No, not at all. In fact, wajib is the minimum required for our soul and our body. That is why it is wajib. And of course, as the answer says that perhaps within the mercy of Allah, Allah knows that what a person can do, right? And because of that, He is kept to minimum. One just a side point is wajib is singular, wajibat is already plural. So you don't need to put wajibat with S. Okay, so make sure that for example, when you do say wajibat, just say wajibat itself is a plural. So just say minimum. But yeah, this is a good, well thought answer, and thank you very much for sharing with us. Another answer we got is, I feel one reason for not making the reading of Quran a wajibat is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forces us to talk to him through our ibadats. Again, ibadats, you don't need ibadat. Ibadat is a plural, so you don't put S to that. No, ibadat, salah, hajj. So Allah wants us to talk to him through salat, hajj, and so on. However, when we need him to speak to us, he needs to provide us with freedom to return to him, so that when he's speaking to us through Quran, we are receptive to his guidance. Yeah, this is good that we are now, what the brother is trying to tell us is that perhaps what is the function of Quran to us, but still does not answer that why it is not wajib. No? But in any case, no, it's a good thing that yes, the hadith says that when you read dua, you are talking to Allah. But when you read Quran, Allah is talking to you. And that is why you can see in Surah Al-A'raf, which is Surah number 7, ayat number 204, Allah has told us, إِذَا قُرِئَ الْقُرْآنِ فَاسْتَمِعُوا لَهُ وَأَنْصِتُوا لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ. When Quran is recited, then listen to it. فَاسْتَمِعُوا لَهُ وَأَنْصِتُوا, and be attentive. لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ, perhaps the mercy of Allah will be with you. So yes, that when we read Quran, Allah is talking to us. We are supposed to give our mind, our attention to it, so that we know what Allah is trying to talk to us. That's correct. The function of the Quran, as mentioned by this brother in this answer, is correct. That it is the function of the Quran that we should listen to it. Okay, we will give just one more day. If any other brother and sister would like to send their answers, please do so by not today, not evening, but today afternoon. Otherwise, tomorrow, inshallah, we'll discuss this thing. Now, the question comes, which I want to discuss today, is that what do we do to put into action this particular requirement in this hadith? Imam has put so much emphasis. He said, you must read, you must act upon its contents, right? We have been told that now when to do it, right? In the middle of the night or day and night, right? And then we have been also asked to, it's incumbent on every Muslim to read his contract every day, And then, of course, we are asked to look at these 50 verses. So the question comes, such an emphasis, how do we implement, how do we put into practice this particular requirement of the hadith? Because it's a wasiyat. It's a wasiyat which Imam al-Islam gave to his son Muhammad al-Nafiya, right? It's a long hadith, as we have discussed this thing, other parts of this hadith. But this is the part which is the end part of the hadith, actually, whereby it talks, right? Now, interestingly, you'll be surprised. The first step, perhaps, you can start anytime in the year. A person can be guided anytime in the year. Let me tell you one thing. Don't wait for guidance on a big occasion or in a special month, or when you listen to a great speaker. No. Guidance, I might have said this thing during this month, I'm not sure, but those of you who have heard me speaking in other occasions, guidance, hidayat from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a divine spark. It's like a spark, just like lightning, and it can come to you anytime. It doesn't require a special day, doesn't require a special season, doesn't require a special place. It doesn't require that you be under listen to a speaker. But yes, all those places, for example, the masjid or in the haram of Makkah, Medina, or for example, Karbala or other places, holy places, or for example, in the month of Ramadan, these are the places whereby there are most possibility that a person will receive the guidance, because what happens is that when we go for Umrah or Ziyarat or Hajj, or when we are in the masjid, we have that cognizance. Majority of people have that cognizance that we are in a special place, in a holy place. So the distraction is little less compared to, for example, if I were to say my prayers at the airport or even at home sometimes in the presence of my children or grandchildren, right? Or so that distraction is less. So perhaps because of that, the mind is there, is receptive to perhaps to be guided. But otherwise, guidance can come anytime. So one of the perhaps best place, one of the best time to get connected to the Quran is the month of Ramadan. There is absolutely no doubt, Mu'mineen. There is absolutely no doubt, based on a number of things which I'm going to share with you today and tomorrow, inshallah, is that this is the month. So it is very, very important that when the month of Ramadan enters 1 week before that, just do everything you can for yourself, for your family, such that you give time to the Quran. Let not any other thing, whatever you have planned before Ramadan, to do with the Quran, let not other things come in the way. For example, as an example, that you have decided that after Zohrain prayers, you are going to study the Quran. You're going to read the Quran or study the Quran. So you're going to be 1 hour, right? Now, suddenly, one fine day, you receive a call that I would like to come to and see you after Zohrain, or I would like you to come and visit me, or I have this kind of particular favor from you. So then you say, okay, no problem. After Zohar, you can come. No, don't compromise. If you have decided that I want to give 1 hour example in the month of Ramadan per day for Quran, you decide yourself. It's you and your schedule and your convenience, right? That should not be compromised. That not at all. Nothing should come in the way. Because now you are looking at that contract, as Imam says, no, it's Allah's contract with you. You're looking at it. At that time, you don't want any kind of disturbances. When you are driving, if you're looking at the GPS, and especially when you're going through a very complicated, if you know where you're going, every time you go to airports, so even you don't need GPS, don't need. But you're getting into a place you've never gone there, it's a complicated place, and now you're following the GPS, you have to concentrate, right? We, in the month of Ramadan, we are trying to reform ourselves, our life, that as we live from this month, we should be different. So we want to consider that time given for Quran should be there. And you can see in the sermon which our Prophet gave just before Ramadan, it is known as Khutbatu Sha'baniyah. We are told in the last Friday of Shaban, Rasulullah gave a khutbah, which all of you know because every speaker talks about it. The interesting thing in this sermon is, which people I don't emphasize. I've not seen scholars, at least I've not heard them emphasizing. The Prophet, after saying that Ayyunas, that Allah, a month has now approached of Allah, which is full of blessings and mercy and forgiveness, right? And then continues and says, First Allah Rabbukum, ask your Lord, what? An yuwaffiqakum. Amongst the things which you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Prophet says, ask Allah to give you tawfiq, to give you success. Tawfiq is a divine success, right? And yuwaffiqakum lisiyamihi, that you can fast in it, the siyam of this month. Now, of course, this is understandable, right? When Prophet says that ask Allah that we should be able to fast, because fasting is obligatory in this month, right? And people who are used to eat all the time, for example, have to have a good breakfast, have to have a coffee at office. Some people, for example, smoke, some people other kind of things, right? Then you should have a tea in the evening or afternoon. When that routine is there, suddenly you are cut off from all that routine, right? So of course, it's logical. The Prophet says that may Allah give us the tawfiq to fast, which is understandable because it is something which is not challenging. I remember when the winter started this year, when winter started, I had the opportunity to talk at JCC. So I had given a lecture on how best to use winter because the nights are long, the days are short, right? So, and somebody who was present there, she sent a comment. She said that everything what you said is correct. No, is doable, we can do it. But you also ask us to fast. That I cannot do it. Although in winter, fasting is so easy, right? Because the days are short. No? But even then you said, no, it's not possible. So you can see fasting is a challenge for some people. But then Prophet says, Fasalullah Rabbukum on your fikum lisiyami wa tilawati kitab. Subhanallah. In the same, without even in between anything, immediately after this, may Allah give you tawfiq that you fast and ask Allah that, oh Allah, give me tawfiq that I do tilawah of the book. So you can see that there is, perhaps Prophet knows that this is something which people will overlook it. You know, for example, I've seen people have passion, for example, of certain things. Let's say if you're passionate of planting certain things. Now, if you're passionate, for example, working in your backyard or flowers, whatever you want to plant, right? What happens when the season comes in? You start putting every moment of yours because you're so passionate of it, right? But if that season coincides with Ramadan, then you have to give up your passion. Because now Ramadan is different. For Ramadan, your passion should be Quran. Keep that in mind. So Prophet says that tilawati kitabi, that no, may Allah give us the tawfiq to do tilawat of His book. Do you see this thing? Then there are du'as for daily, short du'as, beautiful du'as, and we are come to our books. These du'as are taught by the Prophet. I remember when I first started posting these du'as, I'm a part of the group. There's a group of imams, here local. It's known as CCI, Indian Council of Imams. I'm the member of it, and I'm the only Shia there. So when I started posting these du'as there, even those imams who are usually very prejudiced, some of them against Shiaism, against what we do and everything that we do, right? Even they were surprised at these du'as, short but precise and powerful du'as, because they are from the Prophet, right? So dua number 20, Imam Prophet is teaching us on the dua for the day of 20. Prophet is teaching us, Allahumma aftali fihi abwab al-jinani wa akhlik anni fi abwab al-niran. After fasting 20 days, what do we pray for? That Allah on this day open for me the doors of the heavens. Hopefully that I've been fasting for the 20 days, kept away from all the kind of sins and everything. Allah now open for me the gates of Jannat, right? Aftali abwab al-jinan, all heavens, right? Anni fihi abwab al-niran, and all the ways to Jahannam and to fire, right, or hell, whatever things, all kind of actions, activities, thought process, whatever is there, which drives and drags a person towards Jahannam. Allah now closed that. For the last 20 days, I've been fasting. I'm obedient servant, right? And then after that, what? All prophets is asking us to pray what? Subhanallah. The door of heaven is now open for you, right? The door of hell has been closed for you. What do you do now? What do you know in this world, right? Prophet is saying, وَأَفِّقْنِي فِي لِتِلَاوَةِ الْقُرْآنِ. Same word, tawfiq, right? Same. Those who know root word is same. You tawfiq, tawfiqni, because this now you are talking personal. You ask Allah that He gives you tawfiq. Here he says, oh Allah, give me tawfiq. So those in Arabic, that's the only difference. وَفِقْنِي فِيهِ لِتِلَاوَةِ الْقُرْآنِ. Same word, tilawat. You see, here is kitabihi, ya Quran. And give me tawfiq, ya Allah, in this fihi, that means in this month of Ramadan, tilawat al-Quran. Ya muzil as-sakinata fi qulub al-mu'minin. Subhanallah. And then after the Prophet says, oh, the one who sends down tranquility into the hearts of believers, right? So we need that peace of mind. We need tranquility as you read the Quran. So as the first way of trying to follow this particular hadith of Amir Mu'mineen, which is advice to his son Muhammad Nafiya, is that let us use Ramadan, of course, anytime as I said earlier, but especially Ramadan because it is a special month. It is the best month, best season for the Quran, that we build our special relation with the Quran. It could be if you are doing tilawat, then let's say that you want to go next stage is about doing tafakkur, right? What you want to do the tadabbur, the tafakkur. So this is the month of Ramadan. No, you read the Quran, you do the tadabbur, but now you want to read the translation. This is the month started. No, you do all those things. You do read, you do tafakkur, tadabbur. You also look at translation, but now you want to go a stage further. I want to listen to the tafsir, listen to it, right? So this is the month. No, you want to, for example, alhamdulillah, you learn how to read the Quran. Now you want to share with others. You want to teach. This is the month start. That special relation with the Quran, let Ramadan be the time to do that thing now. Based on these two things now. Inshallah, we'll continue how to. Let me see then. What is the literal translation perhaps of tilawat Quran? Is it recite Quran or to understand the Quran? Yeah, good question. No? Tilawat actually means to follow, right? So it's just here it would be that you translate, you sorry, you recite it in the language it has been revealed, because to read the Quran, understand is tadris, it's the daras now. Daras al Quran. There are hadiths also about studying the Quran. So that will come under studying the Quran, or for example, understand the Quran. Right? But tilawat actually would be, is reciting Quran. And since you asked this question, that brings to a point which I share with people. What I do is that for 11 months, beginning Shawwal to Shaban, I read Quran, but I read Quran with translation, which sometimes if something I read translation and I do not understand, or for example, something requires more understanding, then I look at tafsir. So try to comprehend the Quran as much as possible, right? Even when I take my Quran, if you look at my Quran, there are pencil, I take pencil, underline, for example, this is the phrase, I like it, I want to memorize it, this is the phrase I want to study further, then I write, F, that means further studying is required, right? So those things I do. But when the month of Ramadan come in, then of course, besides the sessions I give on tafsir at the JCC or other places, whenever you get the opportunity, besides that, in my personal life, I spend time of reciting Quran. So tilawat here is actually reciting the Quran in Arabic, in the language it was revealed. Any other questions? If you have time, please do respond to what we asked yesterday, then we'll discuss about it. If there are no more questions, it's a weekday today, so we will take your permission if you don't have any question.